Hello, and welcome to the InCrea Plus video lesson 2. In this video we will be focusing on the 21st century skills and inclusive education. The main subjects are key competencies, 21st century skills, inclusive education with some aspects regarding the principles, justifications, features and benefits of inclusive education and inclusive schools. Key competencies. Those whose training is needed by all, like fulfillment and personal development, employment, social inclusion, sustainable lifestyle in a peaceful society, healthy life management and active citizenship. Key competencies are developed considering a lifelong learning perspective, through formal, informal, and self-directed learning in all contexts, including family, school, workplace, neighborhood, and other communities. The European Council has identified 8 key competencies. Literacy, multilingualism, STEM, digital literacy, personal, social and learning to learn, citizenship, entrepreneurship, cultural awareness and expression. 21st century skills represent high-level skills and learning trends that students need to develop in order to succeed in the information age. Children in the future will need to use their critical thinking, objectively evaluate the information received, generate original ideas, be able to work in a team, constantly learn as well as change and analyze themselves. The essential 21st century skills are creativity, critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, collaboration, adding leadership and personal growth. These skills are closely related to lifelong learning. Through lifelong learning activities, students can develop their knowledge and competencies in terms of personal, civic, social and/or employment skills. The skeleton of these skills is made of communication. Technology is developing rapidly and increasingly, leading to fast communication. Adaptation, the ability to keep up with the changes and adapting fast to the new. Innovation, this new constantly changing world expects people to produce new things. Inclusive education represents a philosophy that brings together students, families, educators, and members of society for the purpose of school-based acceptance, belonging, and becoming a society. If education represents a fundamental human right, inclusive education represents also a fundamental right that everyone has to have access to education without discrimination. For inclusive education, it is necessary for every person to participate in society. What are the basic principles of inclusive education? All children should be given the opportunity to alternately express and use the way/aspect they are good at. Adaptations should be tailored to the needs of all students. Current technology should be used effectively. Inclusiveness should not only be considered in a physical context, but also in terms of cognitive, social, affective, educational practices. Arrangements for the students should be made without parsing them. Discrimination between people starts at a young age depending on the gender, income, ethnic origin, languages they speak, religions they believe, disability, or other reasons. Today, unfortunately, this distinction prevents every child from having the opportunity to receive equal education and to participate in social and cultural activities. Discrimination is a process related to all negative attitudes and behaviors that are fueled by prejudices against members of a group or group. Direct discrimination, the unequal treatment of a person, group, or segment of society due to differences in faith, language, religion, or ethnicity, and so on. Forms of manifestation, openly mocking, denigrating, to disseminating hate speech. Indirect discrimination, attitudes that are difficult to recognize, operate through indirect forms of expression, although they do not create any seemingly problematic situations. An example of this type of discrimination is that in the classroom environment, the teacher ignores the statements of the student who is labeled naughty and cares more about the statements of the successful student. Justifications for inclusive education. Educational justification, in a differentiated/diversified teaching method, based on the student's educational performance and individual needs instead of standard teaching, it is much more likely that all students will participate in and benefit from learning processes. Social justification, inclusive schools will create the foundation for a more just and inclusive society by creating an attitude change. Economic justification, schools that teach all students together cost less than a more complex education system in which different schools are established for different groups of students. What are the benefits of inclusive education for students? All students have equal rights, regardless of their age, gender or ability. All students can get individual help from teachers. Students with special needs can acquire social and communication skills. Students with special needs can get a quality education to study at university, master a profession and become full and independent members of society. All students can develop human qualities such as empathy, tolerance, patience, etc. Inclusive schools characteristics. All students can achieve success despite their differences. Students coming from different cultural, ethnic, linguistic, and socio-economic environments are considered important. Their educational orientations value differences, rather than strategies and policies. And that ends our video lesson. We hope that this has been useful to you and you have enjoyed the content.